This is the Oppo X9 Ultra, one of the most ambitious camera phones of 2026. I have been using it for several weeks and I'm ready to tell you if it is really as good in real life as they say. Let's figure it out. Well then friends, let's go.
Hey friends, this video was translated using AI, so the sound quality isn't the best. If you prefer watching the original video, just follow the link in the description.
Let's start with the unboxing. The Find X9 Ultra comes in this large branded box. What do we have inside? Besides the smartphone itself, there is a 100-watt power adapter, a cable, and even a little case. I have the Chinese version of the device in my hands. The global version's package contents may differ. Let's talk about the smartphone design. It truly feels premium. The back cover is made of fiber-reinforced plastic, but there is also a very cool version with an eco-leather back. The frame here is aluminum. The camera module is of course in its usual disc shape, and it is huge here. Oppo has Flagship IP66, IP68, and IP69 protection, meaning the smartphone is fully protected from dust, from immersion in water at 1 to 3 meters, and from powerful high-pressure water jets. While we are talking about the design, one more thing can be noted. It is not the first generation of Oppo flagship smartphones to have a master button on the body. Pressing it will instantly take you to the camera app. There is also another additional button that you can bind to, for example, quickly open other apps. Let's go over the screen. Oppo Find X9 Ultra features a 6.82-inch LTPO AMOLED display with a resolution of 3168 by 1440 pixels. The refresh rate is adaptive, up to 144 Hz. The manufacturer claims a peak brightness of up to 3600 nits, but keep in mind that this figure was achieved under special laboratory conditions. During a regular everyday test at maximum brightness, the result is noticeably lower. In our test, the peak brightness was just over 200 nits. We ran another test. That is supposed to simulate bright light hitting the front camera to see how adaptive brightness performs. Here, Oppo outputs a little over 500 nits. This is an average result, and this level of brightness might be a bit low on a bright sunny day. We also measured the screen flicker. Depending on the brightness level, the PWM value in tests fluctuated from 6 to 10%, which, by the way, is a really good indicator, especially compared to many competitors. As for watching content, the visual image is very pleasant, juicy, and bright. Regarding fingerprint unlocking, I can say that everything works wonderfully. The smartphone reacts instantly to touch, and you can add up to 5 different fingerprints. I'll note that we have already compared the Oppo Find X9 Ultra in photo and video tests, as well as in terms of performance, battery life, and other specs with the Vivo X300 Ultra and Xiaomi 17 Ultra. All links to these reviews can be found in the description. And in this video, we will cover the Oppo flagship more concisely. Now, let's move on to the most interesting part. Let's see how this flagship camera phone performs in general. Let's go over the camera specs. The front camera on the Oppo is 50 megapixels with an aperture of f2.4. The main camera setup on the Find X9 Ultra turned out very powerful. The 50 megapixel ultra-wide lens has an f2.0 aperture. The 200 megapixel main camera has an f1.5 aperture. The 3x telephoto lens is also 200 megapixels with an f2.2 aperture, and the second 10x telephoto lens is 50 megapixels with an f3.5 aperture. The strongest side of this smartphone is of course the zoom. A separate 10x telephoto lens gives a noticeable advantage compared to competitors. At large zooms, the Find X9 Ultra does an excellent job of preserving fine details and text readability, providing less noise and better clarity. I also want to specifically praise the color reproduction. With this Oppo, the Hasselblad collaboration is truly felt in practice. In many scenes, it delivers really very natural colors, with accurate color reproduction, which is what a professional medium format Hasselblad X2D Gen 2 100C camera provides. The front camera is also pleasing, producing extremely decent selfies, including in low light. The smartphone also takes very high-quality RAW photos. The result pulls up well during processing, which we verified separately by shooting with underexposure. Macro photography also looks extremely good, both in photos and video. Maybe this smartphone doesn't reach the same depth as the macro on the Vivo X300 Ultra, but I cannot call the macro weak here. A clear advantage of the Oppo is that you can shoot macro video not only on the ultra-wide lens, but also on the 3x telephoto lens with a decent amount of zoom to spare. And now for the controversial points. For me, one of the main problems with the Oppo was the ultra-wide lens, which is located at the bottom of the camera module. Because of this, my tripod very often ended up in the frame. I can definitely count the autofocus as a downside. The Oppo X9 Ultra, in various shooting modes, either lost focus or shifted it from the foreground to the background. Sometimes it felt like it only kept objects in the center of the frame in focus, and there is no way to change this. Also, even though the smartphone handles portraits well, it still failed our signature spoon fork test. The enhanced stabilization mode is another weak point of this smartphone. It's as if it doesn't work at all, and when filming with the front camera in this mode, we get a crop down to full HD. Though the stabilization again does not improve at all. When shooting on the main camera unit, in some cases the image smoothness doesn't change at all, and in others it even gets worse. The new 10x telephoto lens also raises questions. Despite the fact that I praised it earlier, it actually works somewhat strangely. Sometimes it feels like it doesn't activate specifically at 10x zoom, and we get not optical 10x zoom, but just a cropped image from another 3x lens. As for the AI features, I wouldn't call Oppo very diverse or interesting in that regard. In our test, removing an object from a photo on the Find X9 Ultra gave one of the worst results. It didn't identify the object in hand right away, and ultimately couldn't remove it at all. In the comments, you pointed out that Oppo performs this processing in the cloud rather than on its own hardware. And lately, many users have been facing similar issues. Could that actually be the case? But, of course, you expect a better result and precise performance with such tasks from a flagship camera phone. We also need to mention the flagship power of the new Oppo. It runs on Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 with Adreno 840 graphics. We conducted our performance tests in Antutu, Geekbench, and 3D Mark, and also performed a throttling test. In all scenarios, the Oppo X9 Ultra shows itself to be a truly very powerful smartphone. At the same time, one cannot say that it gets very hot. In terms of temperature, it stays on par with its competitors. An important point, when we conduct a stress test with auto brightness enabled, as a rule, a smartphone that heats up significantly will reduce its brightness level. And with the Find X9 Ultra, it was clearly visible that it drops the brightness heavily due to heating. But in the 3D Mark Wildlife stress test, the Oppo performed at a 51% stability level. According to the graph at the very beginning, we saw a sharp drop, followed by 2 performance spikes. It is not critical, but competitors provided smooth, steady results. There was also a significant variance in frame rate. In the throttling test, Oppo stayed in the green zone for almost half the test, but then immediately switched to the red. By the way, friends, you wrote that these synthetic tests are not indicators of real hardware performance. If you have ideas for more reliable tests, write them in the comments. We read everything. Maybe we should test smartphones with long 4K video recordings or in some specific game? Anyway, I will be happy to hear your ideas and suggestions. I'll say a few words about network speeds as well. We tested the smartphone in 2 scenarios, on home Wi-Fi at 600 megabits per second and on a 5G mobile network. I'll mention the Wi-Fi test conditions right away. The network was clear, with no other connected devices or background tasks, and the router was in the next room, behind 2 concrete walls. I conducted the measurement several times and recorded the best results. Oppo ultimately showed 208 megabits for download and 161 for upload. In a 5G network test in Spain, Oppo shows 595 megabits for download and 87.5 megabits for upload. A good result, especially considering this is the Chinese version of the smartphone. Now about the speakers. I know that for many, flagship smartphone sound is very important. Well, compared to the sound of the Vivo X300 Ultra and Xiaomi 17 Ultra, it was specifically on the Oppo that the sound seemed most interesting, loud, and clear to me. I suggest you listen to its sound for yourself and see if you like it.
I'll be there at the after party. Show up looking like a zombie. It don't matter, nobody stop me.
What about the battery life? The Chinese Oppo Find X9 Ultra is equipped with a silicon carbon battery with a capacity of 7,050 mAh. Wired charging here is 100 watts, wireless is 50 watts. They didn't forget reverse charging either, it is 10 watts here. In practice, the smartphone preserved battery life much better than its competitors while shooting photos and videos. And after all our studio tests, it was on par with the Vivo X300 Ultra and Xiaomi 17 Ultra. Well then, friends, let's finally wrap things up. But first, a few words about the price. I bought the Oppo Find X9 Ultra in Spain for 1,165 euros. The global version currently costs about 1,700 euros here. Of course, you can choose gifts like a watch or a tablet with it, but if you don't need these accessories, then the price ends up being way too high. If I were to summarize the smartphone itself, I would say this is a very powerful camera phone, primarily for those who value simple, high-quality shooting when you can simply pull the phone out of your pocket and take a great shot. I have already mentioned all the pros and cons above. Here I just want to add that the smartphone still feels a bit unpolished. ColorOS 16 is being actively updated. Some algorithms and features of the camera itself are clearly still being fine-tuned. But still, in my opinion, this is a powerful, beautiful, and interesting camera phone that will definitely be a strong rival to all its competitors. And what do you think about this flagship from Oppo? Write your opinion in the comments, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and turn on notifications. And bye-bye, everyone.